feels like a night for a party. My niche, so naughty. There's a knock on the door, it's the neighbors. Quick cock blocking, we're having a holdout. You hose down, don't let me pull my hose out, cause it's big, long.
Hey guys, it's Crystal. So today's video is going to be all about eyebrows. So in my last video, I had talked a little bit about this product right here. And what it is, it's a lash serum, and this is by L'Oreal, I believe. Yeah. I brought it up in my September favorites video, not because I liked what it did to my lashes, but rather because of what it did for my eyebrows. In my videos from about a year ago, even longer, I had such sparse, overplucked eyebrows that I had to literally draw them in all the time. Sometimes the entire brow had to be completely redrawn in. So after a while of trying to let them grow out, it just was not happening fast enough. They were growing in quite patchy. So I decided to look into something like a serum to help them grow. I did a lot of research online, looking at all different serums. Looking into this, I saw that it was really highly rated by a lot of different people. So I thought, you know, let's just go for it. I started using it on my eyebrows, and now my brows have grown in so much fuller than they were before, which this may not look like a lot of regrowth, but for somebody who had literally no eyebrows, very patchy brows, this is huge to me. So today what I'm going to do, I'm going to do a video on eyebrows, eyebrow shaping, eyebrow care, and how to make them look a little bit fuller, a little bit more thick without looking too fake. The main tool that I use for my eyebrows is this. This is an angled razor. Of course, tweezers are an extremely popular tool to use for eyebrow shaping. I think that tweezers are great because they get very individualized hair. However, I have had such bad experiences with tweezers, and they really hurt. Like, it hurts me to pluck my eyebrows, so I'm a big baby about it. So I like to use a razor. This blade is long, of course, but the nice thing is it's a fully unsheathed blade, so you can really get in there and get individual hairs with like the little tip of it. You do have to be careful. You don't want to slice your skin. You can, you know, go a little too far and take off hair that really shouldn't be taken off. So tweezers are still a great option, and probably the best option if you're doing at-home eyebrow care, because you can really just get the hair that needs to be taken out. So with the razor, I'm going to just show you how I go about using it. So for example, I've got some hair right here that I need taken out. So I'm just going to get right on those individual hairs, especially down little unibrow area. And again, you've got to be very careful doing this, just angled. And then I'm just going to go in a little bit. I don't even touch the tops because you want to have that natural arch. You want the top hair to be growing down naturally. Now, if you're confused whether you're using a razor, whether you're using tweezers, where certain things should be, like where should your arch be, how long should your eyebrows come out, where should they start, here's a good tip. How far your eyebrows should go inwards. Take a brush or a pencil or anything like that, line it up with the tear duct. Okay? That's where your eyebrow should begin. So right where your tear duct begins is where your eyebrow should begin. Next, for your arch. Where should your arch be? Where should it begin? All of that stuff. Your arch should always be at the end of your pupil. So if I'm looking in a mirror, I'm going to line up that brush with the outer edge of my pupil, and that's exactly where my arch should be. You might want to use a thinner brush if you would like, just to really see. And that's exactly where the arch should be. Now, where should your eyebrow end? End of your eye, line that up, and this is where your eyebrow should end. Now, you can see mine is barely coming out to that end, so I'm going to need to fluff that up a little bit. So you've got the three main points of your eyebrow. Where it should begin, where your arch should be, and where it should end. Once you have those key points figured out, you could draw a little tiny dot where it should be, especially if you're going to begin filling that eyebrow in, or if you're plucking. And really, when you pluck or when you shave, it's just the extra hair at the bottom. You really, like I said, you never want to pluck out here because it's going to take away the natural shape of your eyebrow. Some people want really nicely defined, nicely shaped brows. For that, especially if you're not used to doing your own eyebrows, I would definitely suggest going and getting them threaded or waxed the very first time, or having somebody who is a little bit more experienced plucking do it for you. That way they can show you the exact hair that you want taken away. If you've already got it down to a bit of a science, you can just go ahead and begin doing it yourself. So for me, I'll take my razor and I'll look at any stray hair, like we've got some here. So I'm going to push back the hair that I want to keep. And I'm just going to get the loose hair. What I like about the razor is that the tip of it can really fit underneath hair that I want to remain. One option that I really love is a kit. Anastasia makes a wonderful brow kit. They are like the leaders of eyebrows. I also really love the Smashbox Brow Tech and Cream Liner Palette. I did a review on this, I think back in December, and basically what it is, it even comes with a mirror, which is great. But these 4 colors right here are all for your eyebrows. The rest are liners, but up here we've got eyebrow wax. That's really going to come in handy when you start putting in and filling. Then you've got your different powders. Powders are a nice option as opposed to something like a pencil, because powders can really look nice and light. They can make it look very natural. Some pencils do that as well. If you get a little tiny bit of a lighter color, like I'll use the Dark Brown by Maybelline and it's still quite light for me, then I'll just go over it with a powder. Another great option is an eyebrow gel or an eyebrow mousse or an eyebrow mascara. This is the Revlon Brow Fantasy, and it does come with a pencil, but I don't use that portion. And this is my color. And if your brows are long enough, you can just brush it on, and it will also hold them in place so that they're not getting all scraggly and out of shape. For the hairs that are really long up here, you're going to want to trim them. Not too short, but you definitely want to trim those down. If you have any really long hair, just gently trim the tips of them. Or hair that's falling down too much, you can trim that up as well. Okay, so one eyebrow I'm going to do with powder and some mousse, and the other eyebrow I'm going to do with a pencil. One of my favorite powders to use to fill in my eyebrow is by Milani. It's an actual eyeshadow, and the color is Brownstone, number 04. I've got some color on there, I'm sorry. But this is my perfect color. It matches my hair. And it matches the roots. That's an important thing. So if you have highlights in your hair and lowlights, what you want to do is match the base color. So if you're looking for an eyebrow pencil, for example, and you've got lots of different caramel colored highlights, what is the base color of your hair? What's your natural hair color? Find a pencil or a powder that matches the base or natural color of your hair. So first I'm going to take an angled brush like this, and I'm going to put it in the powder. And I'm going to follow the natural growth of my eyebrow, especially that area where the hair is kind of sparse. I want to even it out and make it look full. Another option you can do once you've got your eyebrow full and done is to do a highlighter. Now here are 2 pencils. They're quite worn down. One is by NYX and it's a 1 shade. On one end is the brow pencil and the other end is like this milky, creamy color just to put right under your brow. It's very natural, but it's going to lighten it up and really have that brow stand out. The other one is by Almay, and the pencil is great. And then there's the highlight on the other end, which is very pearlescent. So it's really up to you if you really want a nice highlight color under there. So let's do the next eyebrow, and this time I'm going to do it with a mousse and a pencil. So I'm going to use this Maybelline in dark brown, and it's an eyebrow pencil, and it comes nice and sharpened. How I usually begin is kind of tracing exactly the natural shape of my eyebrow. And I do it lightly. You want to do strokes as opposed to drawing it because the strokes are really going to help look like actual little hairs. And you want to try to do the same direction as the hairs are going because that's going to look the most natural. Okay, so you see this is a little bit lighter than my actual color, and I did it very, very lightly because I don't want it to be so dark. Now I'm going to go over it with this, the little mousse. And I'm brushing it through my brows. This is going to help the brows really stay in place. So that's with a pencil and some brow gel. And we'll go ahead and we'll use this pencil highlighter. And how I do it, I just go under a little bit and then I'm going to blend it out with my finger. So there's the difference between the two different ways to do your eyebrows. You can do with the actual powder, or you can do it with the pencil and maybe some mousse. Now to quickly go over the tools I use again, I use a razor. I use scissors occasionally for when the hair starts to grow a little bit out of control and I just want more of a trimmed salon look. It's going to have your eyebrows looking really, really professional if you choose to use some scissors. Again, I'm a huge fan of the Smashbox Brow Tech palette. And it comes with a wax, so if you have some unruly brows, you can just wax them down. Now, when I say wax, I don't mean hot wax. It's just wax to keep them in shape. And then it comes with the powders. You can also use an eyebrow pencil and an eyebrow gel. For my personal favorite, the angled brush and the colored powder. And again, this is just an eyeshadow, but I love it so much. And for highlights, you can use, again, another just regular eyeshadow highlight. Or you can use something more along the lines of a pencil highlight. And that's if you just want a natural look, or if you're already just doing your makeup, you can use the highlighter that you're intending on using for that desired look. So I hope that you guys enjoyed my eyebrow kind of how-to. It was just basically to show you how I go ahead and do my eyebrows, how I shape them, how I get that look to them, how I kind of fill them in, because I know a lot of people do have very overplucked eyebrows or they're just not happy with how they look totally. And I also wanted to show you the main points of where your brow should begin, where the angle should be, and then where your brow should end. That's a great trick that I picked up along the way, and I think that it will really help many of you out there who have questions about where the angles should be. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.